And the second thing is, how do you say the role of the Scrum Master, or what will be the profile of the Scrum Master, the ideal profile to be a Scrum Master?
Uh, okay, a Scrum Master not necessarily is a technical guy. Okay, the Scrum Master is a process guy. This guy needs to want to love process. Okay, because he worked in the process. This guy needs to be a communicative guy. Okay, need to it's the nice because it's a completely different than I need to be complete. For example, love to talk, okay? Love to sit with you and what happens in your life. You don't work to get work. Need to have some Pascal skills, some social skills. Uh, this guy had a lot of soft skills, okay? Sometimes he has technical skills, sometimes not. Today, in a lot of companies, because a lot of people now, I will translate. It's not a scientific number, okay? But most of 80% of the projects use Scrum or any other agile methodology, okay? It's not like the past. And because a lot of people already knows how to work in Scrum, you don't need to have a lot of support to the Scrum Master, okay? And the Scrum Master become to work to develop the best meetings and generates a lot of scraps, okay? In my opinion, the Scrum Master has the worst position. Why? Because he has the same responsibility than a traditional team manager, because the team manager needs to follow, remove the impediments, need to ensure the team is fully functional and productive, need to talk with all the rules inside the team, need to shield the team from external interference, need to talk with the team, understand if the guy is happy, not happy with the position, understand what is the things outside the company that impact the works. The team manager has the same responsibility, the same task. The difference between the traditional team manager and the Scrum Master, that the team manager has hierarchical position with the team. The Scrum Master, no, is side by side with the team. If the Scrum Master has a problem with one guy inside the team, the Scrum Master needs to fix the problem without send orders, but to convince the guy that make problems to stop to make problems. Did you understand? I don't know if I answered. I didn't answer directly your question, Cristóbal, but I try to understand that the Scrum Master is like a boss, but without have the
Yes, without
authority.
authority. It's without authority, of course. He has
Yes.
like the empowerment to talk about everything, but he does not have the authority maybe to give punishments or to give raise or maybe to make a hard evaluation on the team. I get it.
Okay, thank you. And the Scrum team, no? A Scrum team is formed by 5 to 9. It's cross-functional. You have programmers, you have testers, user experience design. Sometimes you have a database, sometimes you have security guys, network guys. You have the people that require to fix or to accomplish the goal of the sprint, okay? And it can change, sprint by sprint, you can change the team, okay? Members should be full-time. There are some exceptions. For example, when you need, for example, a database. A DBA, a database administrator, is a very expensive resource. A security administrator is a very expensive resource. Sometimes you don't have the full time of this guy, you use partial time. Teams are self-organized, okay? No titles, okay? And membership should change only between sprints. You can change one sprint to other, the team can be completely different. This picture represents the Scrum team. I don't know if you already see this picture before, but it's very, very, very important. For example, you have the chicken and you have the pig. And you say, hey, pig, I was thinking we should open a restaurant. And the pig, I don't know what you will call it. And the chicken said, how about hen and eggs? And the pig said, no thanks, I'd be committed, but you're only involved. What it means is Scrum teams need to be committed. It's not only involved. When you have a boss, you can involve in the project, because if you don't do the task, your boss said, okay, you need to go work more. In the Scrum, no. If you didn't do your task, all the team suffer the consequence. Okay? You need to be committed. You cannot be only involved. Did you understand? So, some artifacts. The first one is the product backlog. It's the requirements, okay? First thing, it's the requirements. It's a list of all desired work in the project. It is expressed such that each item has value to the user or customer, okay? Our requirements need to be values to the client, okay? You cannot, or you should not to insert an item or requirement that does not make sense to the client, okay? Prioritized by the PO and reprioritize it starts each sprint, okay? The product backlog is developed by the project team, the PO, and the stakeholders, okay? It's a feature list. The sprint backlog is from the backlog. In the beginning of the sprint, you go to the product backlog and define the sprint goals, and using the sprint goals, select the items in the backlog that you need to move to sprint backlog, okay? The sprint backlog is the features or requirements that you work during the sprint. Again, the sprint goal, what is sprint goal? Is a short statement, what your work be focused during the sprint. For example, first example, life sciences, support features necessary for population genetic study. Database application, make the application run on NetScale 7 in addition to Oracle. Financial set, support more technical indicators than company ABC with real-time stream data. Okay, it's some examples of a sprint goal. The first meeting, every beginning of the sprint, you have the sprint planning meeting. And the sprint planning meeting is the time that you check the team capacity, check the product backlog, check the business conditions, okay? It's the task from PO, okay? The PO needs to do it, okay? Check the current product, check the technology, and you do the two tests. First, the sprint prioritization, analyze and evaluate the product backlog, and select the sprint goal. Second, you decide how to apply the sprint goal, okay? And create the sprint backlog that from the product backlog items and estimate how many time you spend and generate the sprint backlog. This first part here is the PO. The second part is the PO and the team. Okay? Any questions?
Yes. So I'm not sure if I get it, but so the just sprint prioritization is from the PO and sprint planning is from PO and the team, but all the inputs from team capacity, product backlog, business conditions, current product and technology are from PO and team. I don't get it.
And remember that I said that PO cannot be only the business guy. He needs to have some technical skills, okay? Because what the PO needs to understand, all of these constraints is input to generate the prioritization and the planning, okay? For example, the team capacity. Who can answer about the team capacity? The team capacity is answered by the team. But remember, the sprint team can change all the time. It's the reason that, for example, before the sprint, you need to have the sprint goal. Okay? The PO need to think and say, oh, I want to develop this feature here. And the PO talk with the Scrum Master all the time and say, oh, we will develop this feature here. And the Scrum Master go to the company and say, oh, I need a DBA. Okay, it's before the sprint planning. And the sprint planning, the Scrum Master ensure that you have the DBA inside the sprint team. Did you understand or not?
Well, I think a little bit more, but I think on time I will get it
Okay.
better.
So you have a sprint planning. Things that this here is is the item that you need to develop in the sprint. Okay. As a vacation planner, I want to see photos of the hotels. Okay. One task that you need to do is define, okay, to do this feature that you have in the sprint backlog, I need to code, define the task, code the middle tier, code the user interface, write the test fixture, code the full class, update the perform test. Okay, you need to define the tasks, and you need to define how many hours you spend to develop this test. Okay, and this test is the sprint backlog. Okay, and here is from the product backlog. Did you understand? What you do is this part here, guys. Okay. Oh, sorry. You have a product backlog. You need to generate the sprint backlog. The sprint backlog has tasks. This product backlog has requirements. Okay. It's what you try to explain here. Okay. So the sprint planning, teams select items from the product backlog that can commit to complete. Okay, it's very important. The team need to say, okay, I will complete it. The team needs to commit. Okay, remember, you don't have here a boss. Okay, the PO said, I want to have it, and the team say, okay, it's possible to do in 50 days, for example, in one sprint. And you select together what you do, okay? one important thing, it's very hard to define hours, okay? Because, for example, one example, to do the lab about the mosquito, okay? To perform the mosquito lab. Student A spent 1 hour. Student 2 spent 5 hours. The number of hours is different, but the complex of the lab is the same. Do you understand this phrase? The number of hours is related to my ability to perform the work, but it's not related to the complexity of the work. Because most of the time, you don't use hour to manage planning. For example, remember that you define, here, the tasks and the amount of hours. What I say now is, in the real projects, using the Scrum, you didn't define the task size in hours, but you use the story points, okay? The story point can measure anything, can mean anything, but a lot of time it measures the complexity, okay? For example, you can use the range from 1 to 10 or power of 2 or Fibonacci series. A lot of people use Fibonacci because the Fibonacci, you can, for example, things that you measure the range of the challenge or the workload is 1 to 10. And you say, oh, this work, I spent one number. The next work is 2, and the next work is 10, okay? 1 to 2, you cannot say, oh, it's so different, it's no more or less. But when you use Fibonacci, for example, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, you say, oh, 1 is easy. 3 is not so easy. 8 is a lot of challenge, okay? The range is completely different and it's much better. One start point, the idea is 1 man day work, okay? Because the big question is, a start point means what? 1 hour, 2 hours? No, it's a day work, okay? You get 1 man, a day work of 1 man. It's no matter if this 1 man is a very smart guy, experienced guy, or is a beginner. It don't matter. It's a one start point. I know that it's a little difficult, but it's becoming a little clear ahead, okay? One big meeting, we talk about the planning. The next activity is very important, is the daily Scrum meeting. The daily Scrum meeting is a 15 minutes meeting and stand up. Why stand up? Because every time that you sit to discuss, we start to talk about the football, we start to talk about your children, your friends, the parties, okay? The idea is to be a very quick meeting, a very fast meeting. And it's the reason that you cannot sit. It's stand-up meeting, okay? Not to a problem solving, okay? During this meeting, you talk what you do, what you did, the problems that you have, and what you will do. You solve the problem after this meeting. It's a report, okay? It's not to solve the problem. Everybody is invited, but only the team members can talk, okay? For example, if you perform a meeting with your team, I can watch you, but I cannot say nothing. Only the team members can talk, okay? So what you do in this meeting? What did you do yesterday? What you do today? Is anything in your way? Okay. It's not a starter for Scrum Master. It's for everybody need to receive and understand. Remember, my test today, my future test maybe can depend on your test today. Okay, I need to understand how you're doing, what you're doing, the approach that you're using to, in the future, I receive the work from you. Okay. There are committees in front of peers. Give me, I need to stop because I need to reach, okay. Okay. I need to share again, but with my sound. Here I will show an example of a daily meeting, okay? Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Ryoko. We're just getting started. I have you on speakerphone.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Hey, Ryoko.
Hi, Ryoko.
Hi, Ryoko.
Okay. Who wants to start?
I don't like talking in public or at all, really.
Harold, please, the floor is yours.
Yesterday, I finished the source code for the recipe request voice interface, and I ran the unit test, so that's done. But these stand-ups are okay. You only have to answer 3 questions. What did you do yesterday? What are you doing today? And what is your main impediment? Today, I am working on passing the request parameters to the recipe search code. It's structured. It's fast. It's painless. My main impediment is still my lack of knowledge of the speech recognition engine. Ryoko is our expert, and she's been a wonderful help, but with the time difference, it's just challenging.
Okay, that's very good, Harold. But we need to resolve that. Ryoko?
Hi.
Can you send me your schedule? I will look into getting travel approval.
Okay, I'll do that.
Thanks, Ryoko. Why don't you go next?
Okay, sure. Today I
The daily stand-up is one of the team's most important rituals. In just 15 minutes, we see what everyone is up to. We update the iteration wall and see opportunities to help others remove blockers.
I said, you know, Bill in infrastructure. I said, Bill, it's not 1985 anymore.
Okay. I stop a little now. Did you understand the idea of what is the daily meeting?
Sí, es como para que sea más eficiente, ¿no?
Sí. Again, as uma reunião, sorry, it is a very fast meeting, but it's very important. If you see, you don't need to have skill, you don't need to prepare PowerPoint, you don't need to talk a lot. You need to be very focused. You have a focus to talk fast, not talk fast, but to talk what you're doing, talk about your solution, but fast. You don't need to, oh, I have this problem because, no, because it's not the question. If, for example, Rosa, if you have you say, oh, I need to develop, for example, the feature A, but Alexandre, you didn't I didn't do it because you didn't receive the database script from Alexandre, for example. If it happens, for example, in my case, I cannot explain why I didn't send to you. It's a problem. After the meeting, okay, after the daily scrum, maybe probably sit I, Rosa, and sometime the Scrum Master to discuss how to fix the problem. Okay? But it's a very important ceremony. Okay? Any questions?
Well, yes, maybe next we will look or understand where does the Scrum Master and the PO can speak or talk, because it says that in this meeting they mostly don't talk, but I don't know if you will see that later.
Okay, but you recognize the Scrum Master in this video, am I correct?
Sure, yeah, I understand it correctly.
Okay, okay. So at the end of this class, okay, I need to check when. Yes, in more 2 or 3 slides. Yes, 2 or 3 slides, you finalize the content. Okay, but I will give a break, okay? In this last video, you'll see the complete process. The people sitting to planning, the PO talking, another people discuss the solution, a daily meeting again, okay? You have a complete video where you have the complete process, okay? But you'll see it after the break, okay?
Okay.